am deep in the mountains of Xinjiang. Talk about classic spots in Tibet and everyone would mention Mueang County. A dozen years ago, to go to Mueang, you'd have to go on foot for 5 days, going through primitive forests like this, and on the way, you'd see many poisonous snakes and poisonous insects. And then you'd have to climb a snow mountains over 4,000 meters tall to enter the Mueang. Many people say it's hard enough to get to Tibet, yet to enter the Mueang County, it's a gamble with your life. In the 60s, to help the residents of Mueang get out of the mountains, they decided to build a Mueang highway. But the start of the road lies in the Himalayan fault zone, where natural disasters like avalanches, mudslides, and earthquakes would happen. So, for 60 years, they built it and it collapsed. It kept repeating. The project's difficulty was truly world-class. Today, we will embark on the most difficult road ever built to get to the last county town connected by a highway, the Mueang County. This highway is called the Jiangbo Highway. It starts out from Jiangbo town in the Bombi County of Linji, reaches the alpine zone of the Himalayas. The total length of the Jiangbo Highway is 117 kilometers, straddling 6 famous rivers and then running through a tunnel, crossing the Galongla snow mountain into the deep valley behind. The road is very narrow, with cliffs next to it. So they have an even-in, odd-out system. Meaning on even-numbered days, vehicles can only go in, on odd-numbered days, you can only go out. It's a fast descent, rushing down to the rainforest of the Yalong-Jambo Grand Canyon, where it's 700 meters above sea level. The highway, in fact, extends over 3,000 meters. Suddenly, the bridge is blocked by some rocks. Wow, oh, watch out, watch out. This road was hard to build already, and still, driving isn't easy here. Must be extra careful. This day, taking the Zamo Highway, we went from plateau glaciers down to some boreal coniferous forest, and finally arrived at some subtropical broadleaf forest. Wow, we are finally here. Mueang, look. The journey wasn't really too long today, just about 111 kilometers, but it took us over 4 hours. I truly can't imagine how people could walk back then to this lotus sanctuary, Mueang. Mueang has a population of about 10,000, most of which are Monbas and Lobas. They are some of the country's smallest ethnic groups. Here in the Himalayas, the Yalong-Jambo River takes a grand horseshoe-shaped turn, cutting out the world's deepest Yalong-Jambo Grand Canyon. The secret realm of the hidden lotus is hidden here. This is the most famous place in Mueang, the Guo Tang Big Turn. When the river flows to this place, it is blocked by the mountains, so it takes a 180-degree turn. After taking this last turn, the Yalong River runs directly to India. There is this saying that there's only one Medong in this world, and yet Medong owns the whole world. Because the Yalong River has broken through the Himalayas here, warm and moist air currents can flow up from the Indian Ocean, making Medong the warmest and rainiest place on the Tibetan plateau. Here we can see both the snowy peaks and the tropical rainforest, with all types of climates and vegetation, from the equator to the poles. Wow, this is a fruit orchard. A fruit orchard in Medong. What kind of fruit is this?
这个是火龙果。
The pitaya.
来，
Wow, we can eat it now?
可以。
It's the red flesh species. Wow, so sweet. I'm surprised that in Tibet, in Medong, up on the Tibetan plateau, you can grow tropical fruit here.
还有那边有凤梨。
Pineapple? Let's go and eat some. There, the pineapples.
对对对。这个是那个。
A Tibetan pineapple. Hello. Hi. This big brother used to be a porter. Now he has switched over to running a business. So this is your shop?
Yes.
Medong has long isolated from the world. Its economy used to be very backward. There is a shortage of supplies. Daily necessities such as oil, salt, and fresh meat had to be brought in by porters. The oil or salt had to be carried in?
Yes. We would just use very little for cooking.
Very sparingly.
That's right.
He said strong men in each of the family were porters. The family's necessities, medicines, books, oil, salt, clothing, all had to be carried home by themselves. You had to climb the mountains,
Climb the mountains.
snow mountains and valleys.
It would take about 5 or 6 days. At night when it rained, we would set up a tent. We would sleep at night and start walking the next morning. It's so heavy, our head would ache. No choice, we had no ropes.
I see that you're still carrying this knife.
Yes,
For opening up the road?
yes, it's for cutting out a path.
Oh, you're used to it.
Yes, we are used to it.
Before there was road, they were short of supplies. Something simple like salt was a treasure, not to mention medical supplies. Dr. Gayan from Lhasa was sent to Medong to help locals over a dozen years ago.
The people here had to carry in all the supplies themselves. Over time, their knee joints degenerated and they'll have herniated lumbar discs. Sometimes they would carry supplies using their head, causing cervical spine problems. Completely deformed, old people here are all like this. They all used to carry things. You see, this knee is like that. For patients with serious illness, we had to transport him out using a stretcher, take him to the city of Linxi. In winter, when it snowed, everything's closed. Climbing the snowy mountains for me felt like a total collapse. We couldn't get through. Our feet would sink into the snow, and it's the cliff beneath our feet. When the road is closed, medical supplies like liquid in bottles, we try so hard to bring them back, and half of those would be damaged.
These past years, Dr. Gayan has been away from his Lhasa home, transporting patients over the snowy mountains for only one reason.
The conditions were difficult, but the patients are very nice people. They didn't have much food to eat themselves. Vegetables were scarce, meat was scarce, but they would bring me eggs. At that time, even eggs were extremely precious. So So you could only grit your teeth and persist. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Since the 1960s, taking nearly 60 years and over 2 billion yuan, the Jambu Highway was finally completed. Midong is no longer an isolated island on the plateau. Potters became history. Medical equipment and medicines are now in abundant supply.
要加冰水吗？矿泉水、花生碎、芝麻要吗？好。
粉丁，嗰邊好多鋪頭啊！
Since it's even in or out in Midong, tourists would come in on even-numbered days, so trucks can only bring in supplies every other day. It was odd yesterday. We came in for dinner last night, trying to order braised pork ribs with potatoes. They said, no pork ribs, but we could go tonight. They have deliveries coming. They'll have pork ribs. We can order that tonight. Hello, boss. What do you have here? Oh, let's have a look. Wow, big sausages. Plenty of supplies today. Okay now. Not like before. I heard salt was a luxury.
奢侈品。
Apples. Wow, big apples. Green grapes, homegrown muscat. In Midong, you can enjoy the view along the Yalong Jambu River. There are more than 40 ethnic villages scattered over hundreds of large and small hills. Here, only a small number of people live in the county town. The rest are scattered over these hills, with only a dozen homes on each hill. They used to be self-sufficient, without much income to speak of. Since the road was open, the government has been targeting to grow the economy. Take a look. Hello.
Hello.
Wow, let's take a look. This is a homestay?
Yes. The first floor is where we live. This is some of our special local produce. This is red rice that we grow ourselves.
Oh, red rice. Can I take a look at your room?
Sure. Back then, we Monbas would mainly grow rice and corn. Since the road was built, every household is connected to electricity and the internet. In 2012, we set up this travel platform. We don't have to work in the wind or under the sun. We can make a living right on our doorstep.
How much is it for a night?
It's 280 yuan, breakfast included. We can make over 6,000 yuan.
Wow, that's great. So comfortable. Clean and tidy, and breakfast is included. And a magnificent view too. We're now in the Badang village of the Beibang township. The Monba people here has a long history of exquisite craftsmanship. bamboo weaving. Big brother. Hi. You are weaving bamboo.
Yes,
That's your intangible heritage.
yes. We do bamboo weaving here and sell these over to Tibet.
The Menbas are an ethnic group in South Tibet Valley. Bamboo weaving is the craft that has been passed down from generation to generation.
We were from Bhutan originally. The other countries were at war, so we fled here. We do bamboo weaving, run our homestays, and grow some tea leaves too.
Tea leaves. You have tea leaves too.
Yes,
Wow. This is huge.
this is my family's tea garden.
What is this?
This is Huang Kunyin. They sell at good prices. When we started this garden, the government gave us subsidies so that the people can grow rich.
Earn more money.
Yes,
You said your hometown was where?
up that slope.
People in the village used to live on a cliff high up on the mountain. They had to climb for 2 to 3 hours to get home. So this was where you lived, Big Brother?
Yes,
Oh, these are all stilt houses.
back then we would keep cattle under the house.
The village has a history of over 200 years. Stilt houses were where the Mombas lived from generation to generation. Every brick and every tile bear the trace of time.
We lived in the middle. We used this to drink yellow wine,
Yellow wine? Made wine.
rice wine.
So how long have you, the Mombas, lived in these stilt houses?
About 250 years.
250 years.
Yes,
The living room? Oh, it's quite big.
these wooden boards were from my grandfather's time. He used them.
So where's the toilet?
We don't have toilets.
No toilet?
No.
So, what if you suddenly had to go?
No choice, we had to run for the hills.
You just moved out 2 years ago, you said. So you were still living here 2 years ago.
Yes.
You were so short of supplies when you were small, so what about clothes?
I've never worn any trousers before I was 7.
No trousers before 7?
No, we just wear longer clothes. And would only have one piece of clothing. It's like that. For 15 years, I've never worn any shoes.
15 years no shoes before age 15?
It's better now that we've moved down there. We have roads and new houses. The state built them for us. There's electricity, water, and a toilet in the house. It's fine now.
Oh, fine. We're trying Momba's farmhouse cooking today. Hello.
Hello.
You're making
Stone pot chicken.
stone pot chicken is the most famous dish.
Yes, made with free-range chicken with bread.
This stone pot is the key.
It's our most famous Madong stone pot.
I heard it dates back to the New Stone Age. It has a very long history.
Yes.
Madong stone pots originated from the New Stone Age. For generations, the Momba people would extract a very rare soapstone from the cliffs along the Yalong Jambu River, and then they'd hand polish them. One pot can cost at least 2,000 yuan. The most expensive ones can be sold for tens of thousands. This is a farmhouse dish of the Mombas.
Yes, this is a wild fungus. These are our local specialties. There is fresh green pepper.
Here comes the main, stone pot chicken. It's so yummy, very, very tasty. It didn't cook for very long. It must be the stone pot magic. Throughout the trip to Tibet, I kept hearing people talk about the old Tibet, the old Tibet. The change has just been too amazing. Especially when you can see so many power towers, power lines up in the mountains too. People are connected to water supply, electricity, and by road. Xinjiang and Tibet are truly so big. So many places, people, and customs are involved.
好啦，拜拜，拜拜。加油，拜拜。好。
After these 2 months of filming, I find it too much of a rush. There are lots I have yet to discover, too much more to see. If after seeing this you feel attracted to these 2 places, you're curious, or if you still have questions, I would indeed like to say, just as how the locals have been telling me, come see for yourself, find your own answers. Our 2-month road trip to Xinjiang in Tibet has finally come to an end. 14,019 kilometers. Draw a straight line, and that can go all the way from Beijing to Washington. Thank you for keeping us company through this over 14,000 kilometers. We're going back to Hong Kong. See you next time. Bye.